And the season is over. Your New York Knicks finished 5th seed, 47-35. What a year. We're going to talk about the season, talk about the players.
This is you testing, right?
No. I'm filming.
What do you mean you're filming? I'm fixing my
hair.
hair.
Fixing your hair.
I'm looking
That's
at
nothing
the
to do with me. We said we're starting.
No, you did not say we're starting.
Yes, we did.
Hello?
Well, you know what? Whatever. Roll the intro.
Take notes.
Big Beach.
We're here.
I'm at Alex.
It's different this time.
What's up, guys?
Go!
All right. Okay.
Good Lord.
We made it through, guys. We made it through. Now we're back. But you heard what I was saying before I was rudely interrupted. We are going to talk about the season a bit. Knicks finished 47-35. Really a breath of fresh air for the franchise this season.
Everyone unpredicted that we were going to make 47, by the way.
Unpredicted?
Yeah, it's a new word I'm making up.
Okay. That's good.
Everyone said, I think all the different analysis, sports forums and stuff, everyone said that we were coming in, I think, like at 37, 40, like definitely we have exceeded expectations as a team. And
Yep.
I want us to all realize that we have seen huge improvements from not just the players, I think even the coaching staff and the way that they're coaching. We have seen leaps and bounds from certain players that we're now like, wow, this person is a superstar, and wow, are we really keeping this one, and are we really paying him this much? So I think that overall, we have to be really happy that we had a great season. And yeah, we're in the playoffs, but we're solidly in the playoffs. Not like that hiccup we had a couple of years ago.
Well, I mean, the funny thing is,
we
I'll say this.
we
We were
got
a
into the
4th
fourth seed, but
and we
we were all shocked we were a 4th seed. Let's be honest. We were all we were all very braggadocious about it, like, oh, we're the 4th seed, but we were also like, yo, we made it to the 4th seed.
That season had a lot of factors too. Like, this is a much better season. That season had COVID. There were no fans.
Right.
Very appreciative of what happened that year, but this year was very different.
Yes, very, very different year for us this year. And how do you feel going into this first round playing against Cleveland?
Well, I want to table Cleveland discussion because
Okay.
we're going to do a Cleveland preview thing.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to... Because I feel like if we get on Cleveland, I'll just talk. There's just so much to go. So we're going to do a Cleveland show.
All right.
This week, of course, ahead of Saturday's game. But for the season, I am overjoyed. Like you said, I love that you brought up the coaching staff, right? You saw Tibbs being far more willing to play the young guys, leaving. He's leaving guys out there now. When he sees a good lineup, he's letting them play. He's not perfect. Obi still needs some more minutes. Some things here and there. But I think Tibbs, listen, he's 65. He's been doing this forever. People expecting this drastic change in Tibbs at this point. This is not going to happen, right? I think we're getting a decent amount now. And look, the results are there. We're winning, right? Like I said, a lot of individual players really stepped up. I think overall for me, just watching this season, it's a couple quick things. One, our talent level is just so much higher. Just, of course, there's scheme stuff. They know each other. There's things happening. But just our ability to play basketball is so much higher as a team.
As a team,
Look at every player, which is a much better. Guys can do more, right? That's number one. And number two, and I think this is how a lot of us should feel, it was fun to just be a fan. That's how this season felt. Obviously, there are things to analyze. There's a lot to talk about, and as we will on this show and in future shows and all through the playoffs. But a lot of this year, you felt like you could just sit back and enjoy the game, right? Like, this season, multiple times, I got hit with the idea of, oh shit, this is what it's like for other teams and their fans during the NBA season. Like the Bucks, they've been good for 5, 6, 7 years now, right?
Right.
Their fans could just go into the season and
enjoy the season.
And just enjoy the season. Enjoy the fun.
You know what's really funny? You used to tell me, I remember a few seasons back, where you would say to me, when a good team was coming to town, you would be like, or a good game was on, you'd be like, yo, watch this game so you can see how really good basketball is played.
I did.
And you would say that all the time because clearly we didn't feel that the Knicks had a good basketball team. So I think this is the first time, and I think a good solid 10 years, if not more, that we feel like, the Knicks actually have a solid, good basketball team all around, not just the starters, the bench.
Yep.
Right? And I think we really feel that we can contend for this first round. I don't think that anyone, as much as you might go in like, I think we feel like, look, we got some experience playing in the playoffs,
yep.
right? These guys that are playing right now have all had some experience playing in the playoffs, so they've gone through that wave, if you will. And so now what we are supposed to do is we are supposed to come out of the first round. We showed that we could beat Cleveland. Sorry, I keep going back to the Cleveland talk. We showed that we could beat Cleveland, but we also showed that we could beat a lot of other a lot of the top teams around the league.
Yeah,
we showed that we could beat. So I think that I hope that the guys, and it seems that they are, if you're looking at Twitter or looking at things that they're saying, that I hope that they're going in there feeling confident about that and feeling like, because that's half the battle. Going in and saying, yeah, you know what, we can do this, and you showed me Mitchell this morning.
I love that Mitchell. If you've seen it, guys,
so do we have a team.
A reporter, Bondi, asked Mitch about handling the big guys on the Cavs, and Mitch was just like, "What do you mean? We got big guys too. We got dogs too." And he kind of reminded me, even watching it. I've been debating this series in my head, getting ready for it, and he reminded me like, "Yo, you know what? The Knicks are pretty good, and they've been pretty good. They've beaten out, like you said, they've beaten everyone. Right? They 3-1 against the Cavs." And to your point, just to bring up the playoffs and the whole first round expectation that's just getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Not to underplay anything. As much as the first round's important, it isn't that important in the big scheme.
I think it's important for us.
No, it is. I'm not saying it's not important for us. And of course it's important. We're going to live and die with this series. I get it. But if you look at the Knicks as a franchise, what I always asked for was not that the Knicks would just become a super team and be great. It was that the franchise would get to a point where it can be sustainable in terms of winning, not just money, right? Mm-hmm. Where we know, hey, you know what? Like the Spurs, for all those years before the recent kind of tanking years, they knew how to recycle players, keep things going. Recycle players, keep things going. They knew how to develop players, keep making talent, right? The Knicks right now, this entire team is young. They're paid decent salaries with a lot of flexibility under the cap. I see the franchise as healthy, not just this season, right? A couple of years ago when we played well, it was kind of about this season alone.
Right.
Yes, there were some things in the works there, but now I feel like, look how many young guys are developing well, right? Look how many picks we have in the future. Look how free we are. Look how clean the books are. So I feel like as much as a first round loss would be devastating, I want people to remember we're on the rise. Right. Next season, we only figured this out right before the 9-man rotation, right? So it took till December. Once we figured it out, we were a different team. Once we figured out Josh Hart, we are to another level.
Yep.
Next season, guys, no matter what happens, we get to start with that.
Right. Well,
there'll be other improvements around the league, but the thing is, the Knicks, barring some catastrophe, will be starting next season better than this season, because now, people we don't even think of how good. Brunson was incredible this year, and we'll talk about individual players soon.
Right.
Brunson is incredible in his first season.
Yeah.
How is Brunson going to be next year after this whole year of learning to play together? A couple more things. All these guys improved as the season got on.
Right.
Quickly got better and better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Grimes is getting better and better.
Hartenstein even.
So all these guys improve with more time, and you're going to give them a whole summer.
Okay.
And then more time again.
Let me ask you this.
We're going far, guys.
So let me ask you this. So you're saying that all of these guys next season, what are they going to do? Or we now have a good team, so now we have the summer to go through, and then we got this great team. Who do you think is not going to be on the roster come September?
The playoffs are going to be huge for that, but I don't think any of the main 9 are going anywhere. Right?
Okay.
Barring some quick trade, and if there's a big trade on that level, then the player we're bringing back is another level.
Another level. Okay. So do you think that we need that, or do you think that we need to stay with exactly? Because I'm the one that always says to you, hey, stay with the team the way they are. Let these guys play together. Let them know each other. Stop changing the team all the time. I'm always an advocate for that. But as the NBA goes, as a business, and do you think that we should stay exactly how we are, or do you think we can tinkle a little bit?
Right. Well, hold on. Let me go back to the first question, because I'm going to forget it if I don't. So I think the main 9, for sure. Brunson, Grimes, RJ, Randall, Mitch, Hartenstein, Hart, Quickly, and Obi. Okay. I think all these guys are here. I think Juice is probably here.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now, Evan, they try to move him. Derrick Rose, they probably don't pick up his option, just let him go, and maybe he can go pick up the minimum somewhere else. And you got like the G League guy, Trevor Keels, all these guys. I mean, that's not going to matter too much. I'm interested to see if they try to expand the rotation to 10. So if they say, okay, you know what? We're going to lose Rose, get rid of Fournier, maybe toss in a second round pick or something, and can we turn Fournier into something that's going to help us?
Right.
And then expand the rotation to 10, because I think they need to play more guys. I want to see a 9-man rotation next season as well. It worked this season, but I want to, we're a good team now. Obi's got to play more. There's a lot there.
Well, it also
to the
worked,
second
after I interrupt you, but it also worked this season because that 9-man rotation only happened, like you said, from late December on.
Yeah.
We can't have those guys playing those kind of minutes all season long. It's like too much. It's too much wear and tear on their body. I'm going to say accident. Injuries could happen.
Right.
So I think it's too much to us.
Yeah,
over a 9-man rotation.
Especially now you start getting into playoff minutes when guys play playoff minutes like another season. So we'll figure that out. These guys are young. I'm not too worried about that just yet. But to your second question, I don't know if they need it right now. Listen, in the NBA, you got to strike when there's certain opportunities. Right? We didn't strike with Donovan Mitchell. But at the time I said it, I was fine with it. I did not think we were ready. Had we had this kind of season last year, I think we would have been ready. Right. We were not ready then. So I don't even feel like hearing about it now, because you look at what Grimes and these guys were doing. Right? If we had traded them and they're doing all this now, we would have felt like, damn, what if we held out a little longer?
Right.
Even if you make a trade for the next guy now, you're not giving up as much, because in the past you have to toss in Quickly and Grimes. Now I feel like Quickly's value alone, Quickly can be the centerpiece.
Skyrocketed.
Right. He can be the centerpiece of a deal if you feel like you need to make a deal. I don't think we should make a deal. I think you got to get this playoffs. Let's see what happens. Hopefully we sign Quickly this summer, get him the early deal, lock him in, and then play all of next season and see what happens. I think at the end of next season, now you're looking at the next move for the franchise. I don't think they need to rush it. I think we need to see more minutes for Obi next year. And this team, I tweeted out last night, this team could possibly win 60 games next year.
Okay.
Let me say that. I think this team could win 60 games next year. I think this year we could have won 50. We got close. A couple of close games there.
I was going to say, we had a lot of close games, too.
We had to figure stuff out. I know other teams next season are going to be better. The Magic are going to be better. It's not the same every NBA season. But this team can definitely win like 55 games and possibly 60. I also think you never know how much better Brunson could be. Why is it? Well, Brunson has improved his whole career.
Right.
Why is it just that he's now gotten very good?
Right.
Is he not going to take another leap? Because if you look at Brunson from January to now, specifically, scoring like 28 points a game. He's like one of the best, like top 5 point guards in the NBA.
Right.
Speaking of, because I want to make sure we get to this. We're going to talk about the players on the team.
Okay.
Jalen Brunson, I'm going to let you take the floor soon, but let me just read out his stats really quick. 24 points per game, 6 assists. His shooting numbers this year, 49% from the field, 42% from deep. Was known as a great 3-point shooter coming in, has a great year from deep. He's the leader. He's efficient. He's the man. Jalen Brunson turned this season and this franchise around.
100% he did. I cannot give him enough praise. Everything that you just said, I agree with. What are we saying? The number one thing is we finally have a point guard. We finally have a legit point guard, and he's doing everything that we wanted a point guard to do. You said that he, came in and he's improved so much since he's been here. So I almost feel as well with the Mavs that he didn't have the opportunity to play how he's been able to play for us, and maybe also he didn't gel, and I don't mean like he didn't get along with the guys, but I mean maybe that wasn't the right fit for him to be able to excel the way that he has here with the Knicks. I think it was a really good fit for him also individually as a player. I think coming to the Knicks was also a really good fit for him. Seamlessly, Randall allowed him to come in and kind of take the lead, because he almost is very much a leader as well. And as I don't feel that Randall is necessarily that type of leader, he picks up all the slack where Randall doesn't, as far as being a leader.
Yep.
Having said that, there are other players, and I'm going to talk about RJ Barrett specifically, who we did not see make the improvement.
Well, we're going to get to RJ.
That we needed him to see.
We're going to get to him.
We saw him. What we see with RJ.
Yeah.
Why are we going to get? We're getting
him
now.
Well, let me give you the plan.
Right now.
No, because we're going through the players kind of in order. So I just spoke about Brunson.
Okay, so
so
we're not speaking about RJ right now.
No, we're going to talk about RJ soon. Who
do you want to speak about next?
I just want to finish this with Jalen Brunson.
Okay.
It's going to be a long show. Just accept it, guys. It's a long show. If you're still here, thank you for watching, right? His footwork, amazing. Watching Jalen Brunson operate has been a pleasure. right? He's played himself up to the fans perfectly. He embodies his franchise, plays the game the right way, the charges. He's a warrior. He plays hard. He's a leader. I knew he was going to be really good. I knew he was really good. I knew we'd see an improvement. I thought he would get like 20, 21 points per game. I did not expect this to this level so soon, right? And that's why I feel so excited about his future, because who's to say he's not going to keep getting better?
Right.
What, 2-time national champion? He's a winner. You can just see he just exudes leadership qualities, and you see what's going on with Dallas, and you wonder, maybe they replace the tile with Kyrie, whatever. You wonder what they're missing off the court, because look what he's brought to us on it. All right, second guy.
Right.
Julius Randle, 25 points per game. He led the team. 10 rebounds per game, 4 assists. He shot 46% from the field and 34% from three. But I felt like he improved with that as the season went on. Some of those 3-point games he had on the road where he just comes out incredible. Randle kept himself a little bit calmer this year, though we had a little worrying scare as of late. But a good bounce back season for Randle after last year with the fans, thumbs down. There was so much drama.
Right.
He got the Garden and the Knicks back on his side this year.
So my only issue with Randle's a great player. His stats are incredible. His stats are actually up there with the other top players in the entire NBA league. I think he's in with that top 5. My only issue with Randle is that he lets his emotions play the game for him. And that's the only place that he falters. Everything else, he's fine.
Yep.
You know? I mean, yeah, every now and again, he might have a little dribble where he dribbles too much or he dribbles too hard. Oh, you know something I noticed the other day? Someone was pointing out to me as well. Some of these guys, when they bouncing the ball, they bounce it too high, and that's how they're allowed to get the steal.
High dribble, yeah.
So Randle doesn't do that low down dribble, which could help him out a lot. It's from people.
Well, he doesn't have a great handle, so he's going to
have a great handle on the ball. But really, that's even fine. He plays fine. My only issue with him is the attitude that he seems to bring to the court sometimes, and it's not good for the rest of the team because they feel it, they sense it. Obviously, if it's happening on the court, it's happening probably during training. It's happening probably when they go back to the locker room during games, and that affects how you come back out and play. So it's like something that we have to do later on today. If you have to reprimand someone, which I have to do at work later on today, and write them up, you want to do it towards the end of the shift and not during the shift, because when you do it during the shift, it spoils their morale. They come back to the game with like a shitty attitude.
Right. Yeah.
So it also seems though like Tibbs can't reprimand him or doesn't in the public eye for us to see.
That's been a topic of conversation.
Doesn't do it in public eye for us to see. And maybe only one or two of the guys does he. I don't want to say that he doesn't respect the guys, because I'm sure he respects everyone on the team and and his management and coaching staff. But there's something with him that he allows this negativity, or he allows himself to get flustered, and the refs do it to him sometimes, and then he plays that way. He plays that way, and it's not good.
I kind of tossed it because I wanted to hear it. So I tossed it to you to give something positive about Randle. You got nothing.
What do you mean you got nothing? I said that I like he plays fantastic. My only issue is the attitude.
And let me say
That's
this.
It.
I agree, right? And I'm just trolling you.
I'm just trolling you to get positivity.
But
you came to the wrong place, money.
I'll just say this though. I'll say this. On his attitude, I'm giving him some credit for this season. He actively tried things this season, and unfortunately, the last memories of him aren't really what we saw for most of the season.
Right.
Because he had improved doing the meditation.
Yes.
The stuff with Dice. Johnny Bryant spoke to him. I don't like to not give people credit for some improvement, because I feel like it's unfair to them, right? If somebody's trying to get better and they're actively trying, and something that they struggle with, you have to celebrate the small wins. Because if you don't, they feel like, well, I'm trying now. Well, when I didn't do it, they hated me.
Now
I'm trying. Right. They still hate me because it's not perfect. Randle will probably never be perfect, right? Look at Draymond Green. Draymond Green gets technicals for everything. He can't help it. But that kind of stuff is also why he's such the kind of character he is.
Right.
I've seen Randle's energy and anger channel itself well. There are times he's just carried us on the road because he's just like, you know what, I'm not letting these guys mess with my team. And it can be destructive as well. I think for him, he's got to hone it in but he's still developing. He's 28 years old. I don't think Randle is done. I think he's going to keep improving in this regard. And if we get to the point where it's like one blow up per season, then it's fine.
Then we're okay with that.
We may be handling it. But I'll say this.
One knockout per season,
No,
one hands in the wall.
He's got no knockouts, all right? All this talk about this, by the way. You got Rudy Gobert out here punching people where Randall did not punch quickly. At least, but listen, I get the criticisms with Randall, right? There are times when Obi's out there, I'm so excited about Obi. I'm like, man, I would love to see Obi just play more, but Randall deserves his props. I will need him against Cleveland. I expect that he'll have a really good series because he's got to answer. Unfortunately, he has them, but the critics of the last playoffs.
Right.
You know, Randall freezes up in the playoffs. Randall freezes up late in games. I'm sorry. It's going to be, for him personally, it's a big playoffs.
Do you think he's playing in the first 2 games? Because I initially said that I did not think he was going to play in the first 2 games. And after watching him walking around yesterday,
all dripping with the white.
I'm like, okay, maybe he is going to play in the first 2 games or game number 2 at least.
I think
I would not mind him not playing in game number 1 almost.
I think
just to give Cleveland a little run for their money because it'll be a little different. It'll be a little different setup for them. They're game planning for Randall, so when you don't throw him out there, now they're like, oh.
I feel you. I'll be able to save this for the Cleveland talk.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Keep going back
Let's do a couple more guys here. Emmanuel, quickly, we have to talk about him. Possible.
Okay.
6th man of the year, maybe he should be. 14.9 points per game. He shot 37% from deep, which improved a lot as the season went on. He's going to shoot over 40% next year. He shot 45% from the field, 82% from the free throw line, and he was just a bundle of energy. And maybe like the most fun player on the team this season, right?
So you said 14 points per game is what he's playing?
14.9, yeah.
So I think that sort of averaged itself out because it seems to me, by watching him, it seems like he scores 25 points every night.
Well, definitely.
Meaning that's how he plays.
Definitely towards the end of the season.
Towards the end of the season. So I think that because of maybe a couple of bad games, that's why it averaged out to the 14.9.
Well, not even bad. You remember, like, the thing is, he's on the bench sometimes. He plays less minutes, whereas now he's getting more minutes starting.
Right.
But regardless, he clearly improved. IQ's shot was not dropping early in the season. And we knew he was a good shooter, so we weren't worried. Mm-hmm. It wasn't a case of, oh no, IQ forgot how to shoot. Like, IQ can shoot. But once he got out that slump, incredible. But I think, again, his infectious energy, his whole vibe, he's kind of, I feel like he's been, Brunson's obviously been the best player and the leader, but kind of like, in terms of the Knicks becoming a fun, cool team in the NBA again, I feel like Quickly's been the reason why.
Part of it. I could definitely see that. I always said that when Quickly comes on the court, he brings a certain bounciness with him. He also scores strategical points for us.
Yeah.
There's a name for it, I forget the name, but there's a...
Clutch.
The clutch points.
Yeah.
Or not just
timely
clutch,
as well,
but really timely. There's times where I see him score like right at that moment where we're down 10 points, we're down 15, and then he gives us like a nice solid 6 points. Right at that point where the team really needs it because it changes the energy.
Yeah.
Changes the energy even in the Garden. Like you'll see sometimes in the Garden people are screaming and we're like 10 points behind, but it was because of when he scored those points, what a difference it made. And how he brings the energy of the entire team up. It's almost like he scores those couple points, and then the rest of the team kind of just jumps on board with what he's doing. It's
he knows how to stop the bleeding.
He shows the direction, like, this is where we're going, and then they jump on board, and they go right with him. So he definitely, to me, has been one of the most valuable players on the team. I mean, yes, like you said, obviously Brunson, but he's a close second, man.
I think without IQ, we could be in the play-in. Because look at the games that Brunson has missed. Right. Obviously, he's missing time more purposely now. But even earlier in the season, even games where we just needed Quickly, right? RJ was out, Quickly started a lot then. So imagine without Quickly this season, we could be the 7th seed and in the play-in right now.
Right.
He was huge. Big props to Quickly. It's amazing to see him realize his talent because we saw lots of this during his rookie season. He's always been this guy. It's like this is a shocking thing for him, but now he's way more consistent.
Right.
And he's rising to the occasion. And so I'm like, this guy's a star. I think Quickly's a star. Knicks are going to have to pay him. Knicks might have to start him next season.
You showed up at my house several times and just said, opening line, Emmanuel Quickly is a superstar.
He's a star.
Emmanuel Quickly is a superstar. This boy is a superstar. He's a star. He's a star.
Listen.
I feel you, man.
Look how he's playing. I'm like, you brought up the points per game.
Yep.
At this point, I'm like, if Quickly goes to his own team, what's stopping him from getting 24, 25 points per game?
What's stopping him from being a starter, obviously.
Yeah.
And then, 25 points a game.
Funny enough, there's been the comparison, but it's like Brunson in Dallas. Mm-hmm. Quickly's the kind of Brunson for us.
Right.
Right? The player that might break out.
Right,
but the Knicks have control.
Right.
I'm not worried about it. I think the Knicks see Quickly's value, not just on the court, but even off the court as a kind of fan favorite type of guy. They're going to sign him back. I don't know if he's going to require the start, right? Because that's going to be an interesting one. Let's run out a couple more players as I'm thinking about starters. We got Mitch, we got Quentin Grimes, and we got Obi Toppin, right?
Okay.
So Mitch, again, another improvement this season. I've been so happy with Mitch. I like his energy. He's had some moments where he's wanted the ball more. You've seen some stuff on Twitter. But Mitch keeps improving. We drafted him in the second round. We knew all the issues around him coming into the draft. And I feel like he surpassed everyone's expectations because the environment he kind of came from, anything could have happened. And he's been a good professional. Mitch has always been a little rough around the edges. But imagine, even with Mitch being rough around the edges, not media trained, coming to New York City, 18 years old, from the South. He's a Southern boy. And he handles him, you know what? Even with the little things, he handles himself well.
Yeah, and he cares. So you say, him being on Twitter and saying he wants to hold the ball more. That's great. Because that literally means that he's like, yo, I want to play the game some more.
Right.
He's not sitting back on his laurels like, yeah, okay, whatever, I got my money and I'm chilling.
Right.
He actually is like, hey, I want the ball more, I want to score more, I want to do more things.
Yes, facts.
I want to do more things. And I think we are seeing him doing some more things. We are seeing him taking some shots here and there.
He's done a couple of different things.
Here and there.
I've seen him drive a couple of times this year.
Yeah, so he's tall and skinny, so I guess he probably doesn't feel as confident maybe going in there and like getting beat up too much. Right,
yeah.
because when he does get hit, I know you always get pretty scared. Like, oh shucks, is he going to be?
I can't watch Mitch fall. Every time Mitch falls, I'm holding my breath.
And so you're holding your breath. What do you think he's doing? But as much as we watch these guys and we're like, oh, he got hit. They are feeling the physical hit. So he knows what that's about. But I love his attitude and his energy. He's a young kid. So what if he's on Twitter talking a little smack every now and again? That's what keeps the game interesting and entertaining.
Yeah, there you go.
So
how about Quentin Grimes? Let me give you some stats on Quentin real quick. He finishes the season shooting 47% from the field, 39% from three. But I'm telling you right now, his last 10, 15 games, he's been shooting like 45 or like 46% from three. Incredible. And I think he finished with 11.3 points per game. But fifth option on the offense, really. I think he needs way more touches. This guy, I am a big believer in Quentin Grimes. He's defending every team's best guard and wing. He's been doing that all season long and doing really well. I love Quentin Grimes, and we're going to talk about RJ, but I'll just say this. I don't want to say it.
Quentin Grimes, solid guy. I feel
he's so young too, man.
Confident when he has the ball in his hands. I don't even care what he's doing. He seems to me to have a really high basketball IQ.
Yep.
He seems to make always smart, good decisions no matter what he's doing. If he's passing the ball, if it's an assist, if it's a block, if he's shooting it, I don't care. I feel 100% confident with him with the ball in his hand. Yes, I'd love to see him have the ball some more. Why not? Because he's only doing great things when he has the ball. So he's only doing great things when he has the ball, give him the ball some more. And I love his attitude, or lack of attitude, by the way, because he doesn't seem to have any. It's weird, because we live in New York. And the New York Knicks, you think of New Yorkers and you think of like people that have like attitudes and like have this like suave way about them and this like kind of very showboaty way.
Yeah.
And I feel like there's no one really on the team that seems that way to me.
You're right.
They all seem like these, I know we don't know them personally, but they seem to be like really good character guys.
Yep.
They seem to be kind of mellow, and even how they dress. I mean, yeah, they want a little swag and stuff, but I don't feel like this overwhelming, like, oh, he's a prima donna, oh, he's this, with any of the guys. And so Grimes is again like the opposite of that, like good, solid player, man. I don't want to lose him. I don't want to lose him.
They kept him out of trades.
And
people were
wait a minute, I remember that.
Yeah, they kept him out of trades.
And you kept saying, you were like, yo, Tibbs is keeping Grimes. He's not touching him. Actually,
I'm a big Grimes guy.
You said they were not allowing anyone to touch Grimes. It was almost like he was in this glass case and like you could not do anything with him. Don't even put him in any trade, nothing. Like,
listen,
he was there.
It's not easy to get minutes under Tibbs. He got them as a rookie. He's in his second year. Grimes has played less than 120 games because he missed some to injury. This guy, I watch him. You watch him in Summer League, almost won MVP, almost won his Summer League championship, right? You watched him in the All-Star rookie game, looked like the best rookie. I think if Grimes is on a worse team, right?
He's one of the best guys.
And he just got the ball because he's a young rookie on a bad team. he'd be scoring like 18, 19 points a game, and they'd be like, yo, he's the next guy who's going to become a star.
Right.
I trust him with the basketball. I feel like he's going to do good things. I love his jumper. He goes up immediately, doesn't hesitate.
Yep.
You can't play too close to him, too, because he gets off the line quick. Every time he's caught the ball and like immediately driven with it, no one's been able to predict which way he's going. He defends well, great attitude, gets to work. He's like a military kid, the way he just like, I'm doing the next thing. And he has a little bit, just the right amount of swagger and confidence. You see Grimes, when he's hot, he hits a couple shots and he wants the ball. He wants to show you what he can do. He has been shining, right? With the guys out. He's getting more of the ball. He's averaging like over 21 points per game over his last few. I think sky's the limit for this guy. I want to see where Quentin Grimes is going to go. We got to finish these guys. I want to get to RJ last. So real quick, Hart, and Obi, right? Josh Hart midseason changes the game. Hartenstein started off slow, but we knew he was a good player. And the way he's getting better and better is scary. Now he's passing, which is his big skill that we didn't get to utilize early. Now he's passing. You're getting to see how incredible his vision is, right? And lastly, Obi Toppin, who, not a great season for him.
Needs more minutes.
But now, in the last 10 games, Obi's looking ridiculously good. So how you feel about, those guys?
I like all of them.
Yeah.
I like all of them. Like you said, or like I'm saying, Obi needs to play more minutes so we can actually see what he can potentially develop into. He was our number 8 pick, so he's supposed to be a high player, right, for us, right? And we haven't really got to see that because of this tight 9-man rotation. So, it's unfortunate that we only got to see a sampling of what he does, and really towards the end of the season. So I would definitely like to see him play some more. Josh Hart came in, and obviously his relationship with Brunson, I think, definitely helped a lot with easing him into the game. But he's brought some stuff for us as well. He's brought that energy. He brings that energy. He brings that quickness on the floor. Again, smart guy. Don't care when he has the ball in his hand. I know he's always going to make a good decision.
Yep.
So I'm happy with that. Hartenstein, hustle. Proved himself, showed that, I can be on this team. I can come off the bench and I can give you guys some good minutes. And I think Tibbs sees that, and that's why he's allowing him to play the way he has. We thought it was going to be Sims for a minute. And it wasn't. Hartenstein was basically like, no, it's going to be me, and I'm going to show you why it's going to be me. And so we got to see that. I know you don't want to talk about RJ yet.
No, it's time.
It's time for us to go there.
We actually got through everybody. Now it's time for Rowan.
So the thing is, number 3 pick. We want to see this guy succeed. I've said this before. I'll say it again. I want him to come out in the playoffs and play so well and shut me up and let me eat my words. I would love that. Having said that, I do not see him improving more than he has already. It's almost like he's reached his plateau. I don't see him getting any better than he has right now. And the thing is, RJ does this where he'll come and have like a really good game. And you're there like, yes, RJ, show them. Yes, we knew you could do this. This is what we wanted to see from you. He's dunking. He's using his body. He's playing well. And you're like, yes, this is what we wanted to see from you. Even sometimes he has games where he starts off slow, but he continues trying, has a great second quarter. Maybe not a good third quarter, and then a good fourth quarter. We see him able to play different games within the same game, right? Which is good.
Yeah.
But there's not enough consistency with him. And because of that, it's like, I don't think he's a bust, like a complete bust. But for a 3rd pick, yeah.
Woo! Ah, man, you know what hurts me when you do this? I hate how right you are, because I don't want, it's hard for me sometimes to really reconcile these thoughts, right? And I'm still not out on RJ. He's 22, right? That's young. Guys like Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle were not near the players they are today when they were 22. Not even close.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not even close. Especially Randle. It's a guy who's improved and expanded his game so much. RJ's been under the microscope since like 15 years old, right? Goes to Duke. At that point, the expectations tempered a bit, ends up being the number 3 pick. And you're right. You're right in the sense of, like, when you think of, like, obviously they're a bust all the time, so it's not guaranteed. But you think of what you can possibly get at the top of the lottery. You're like, this is a game. This guy is the guy on my team. Now I can figure out everything else around it, right?
Do you see him improving?
Huh?
Do you think he's going to improve?
I do think he'll improve.
Okay.
Right? Mike Breen spoke about this as well. He's like, in the last game, Mike Breen said something along the lines of, I don't know, how it's gonna be or whatever, but I do know this. This guy is so determined. He works so hard to improve that it will happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
And that's kind of how I feel about RJ. I feel like RJ is gonna bully and grind and have the ugliest path to being the player he's gonna be. It's not gonna be sexy and fun. Like Quickly's path has been sexy and fun, right? Quickly started off on the bench. Now he's starting and boom, he's great. I think RJ is gonna be like steps forward and step back every year. And then 1 year, all of a sudden, I tweeted this by the way, I said, RJ RJ's gonna be good. We're gonna have to wait till he hits his mid-20s and grows dreads. I have a vision. I got a vision. RJ.
Okay, now you said it, I'm seeing
I got a vision of RJ in like 28 with dreads, and now he's good. And you're like, you remember when RJ wasn't good and his hair was short?
What is it? What is that? The Samson and Delilah. The Samson and Delilah.
I don't know
reference.
But I think
where they cut his hair and he loses all of his strength.
I think I'm tying this to the idea that it's going to be time. But like I said, I don't think RJ is going to have a sexy development where he just starts getting better so quickly. It's fun. I think you're going to see him.
He's going to struggle.
Figure something out.
He's going to struggle.
Right? He's going to figure something out. And you're going to be like, oh, he's got that thing. And then next season, right, instead of adding to it, he'll lose something. And then it'll be this and this. But then I still believe, because I think he's a guy who cares. I think he cares. Listen, for as many criticisms of him as we have, he's still 22 years old, almost scoring 20 points per game. Yes, inefficiently. Yes, there's a lot of issues there. But it's not been an easy role. He's gone from second option to third, sometimes first. And he's figuring it out. I think next year is big for him. We got to see a real step up. And I know this is like the third year in a row we said it. But my last thing really is that I just believe in his desire to improve. I really believe in it. It might be irrational, right? And if the Knicks feel, because next year his real money kicks in, right? So he's 27 million a year or whatever, right? So if the Knicks, I think you got to give him that first year next year. He's got to play that first year. And if it's nothing, and the Knicks feel like, you know what? I'm sorry. I don't blame the Knicks at all.
Right.
I don't blame them. I'm not gonna be. I'll feel a little bit upset. It depends on the season, but I'm not gonna be pissed. Like dumb decision. Why did you do that? But I just still feel over time, this guy's gonna prove us, a lot of us, a bit wrong, and I think he's gonna get there. I just think you're gonna have to be more patient than we have been with other guys. But I think next year is big for him because RJ just needs to be cleaner in his game. Forget the next season. These playoffs are huge for RJ. If RJ goes out there and is the stinker in these playoffs, maybe this summer they're like, I can't do this.
So that's the thing. RJ could, during these playoffs, step up and have some really good games. I heard Alan Hahn say today that RJ Barrett will be the reason if we win this first round or lose. So that means like all the pressure is almost on him. Like if he has a good game, we're winning the game. If he has a bad game, we're not, because he's one of the top three pieces. It's Brunson, it's Randall, and it's RJ. If you really think about it, who's supposed to be giving us 25 plus points?
It's those
three guys.
Yeah.
So really, if RJ has a bad game, we're not gonna win, and if he has a good game, then we are. Yeah. So I kind of have to agree with Alan Hahn. But again, I hope that I am wrong. We want. Listen, RJ said, "Yo, I'm a Knick," and his
we love RJ.
His pink suit with his dad crying at the drop. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, and we wanted a homegrown team. This is what the homegrown team kind of looks like. And RJ really is the centerpiece of that because we drafted him. We didn't draft...
And we're paying him the money now.
We didn't draft Brunson. We didn't draft Julius.
Yeah, we're paying him.
That's really what it is. He's the guy. He is the guy.
There's more pressure as we're paying him now. Hopefully, we see a lot from RJ in these playoffs. I will say this. In the 2021 playoffs, Elfrid Payton was a starting point guard. And he was so bad, Tibbs just stopped playing him. So Payton didn't play like a lot of the games at the end. Derrick Rose played all the minutes.
Right.
So Tibbs as far as we know, Tibbs will tolerate some stuff in the season. But if RJ's bad in the playoffs, he could just not play, Like, not to say he's not gonna. I don't think he's gonna get 0 minutes. But right now, RJ's getting like 30 something minutes per game. Tiz might get to the point where he's like, yeah, you're playing 10 minutes a game, and Josh Hart is not playing 40 minutes. Right? Because you know what? We need to win.
So you just said that, right? And in my head, I'm picturing that on the court, and I'm like, I'm fine with that.
I knew you were gonna say that.
Not only am I fine with that, I'm like,
we gotta win.
Not only am I fine with that, I'm kind of like, yeah, Josh Hart will probably give us a better plus. What would that plus?
Plus minus. He was the best in the NBA.
So I'm like, yeah, Josh would be better than him. And I hate saying it. RJ, prove us wrong. Let me eat my words because I so will, and am waiting to give you the praise that you deserve. Well, show us that you deserve it. You don't deserve it yet, so show us that you deserve it, is how I feel.
That's a good note to end on, guys. Thanks for watching. It's a long show, 40 minutes, but the season recap. Can we
cut it up? Maybe.
Nah. You're going to get the whole thing. I'm not editing this. Thank you guys for watching this week, right? I might be on someone else's show. I'll drop the details. You might join me. We'll find out. But we're definitely going to do a preview of the Cavaliers series. And Saturday at 6 p.m., my hype is through the roof. Like, I'm so ready for this. The whole playoffs, I think, are going to be crazy. The NBA right now, the NBA is set up perfectly. I think we're going to have a lot of fun in the first round. And hopefully a lot of fun for our New York Knicks. All right, guys. Thank you for watching.
Peace.
See you guys next time.